You all can ask questions by just coming off mute.
Yeah, if you have a question, I'm more than happy to stop. Okay, maybe not. Okay.
No, it wasn't necessarily a question with Houston Public Library. Is it only within that county, or do you know of other counties that also, other county libraries that also participate?
Now that is a good question because the young lady who told me she worked in Harris County. But let me do some research and hopefully by the time we finish up, I can see if it's offered in other counties. But I mean, wouldn't see why it wouldn't be offered, but I can check and see for sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem. So again, we'll take a look at LinkedIn Learning in a minute, but definitely those are some courses that you want to take. And again, those courses are low level and foundational as well. They are I think I did a course on there about like leadership, communication. So those are kind of things that you want to display onto your LinkedIn profile because again, if we're telling a story and if we're trying to get into certain leadership positions or if we're trying to oversee people, you want to make sure that hey, I'm doing the work to make sure that I'm an effective and efficient leader. So those are some great things that they offer on LinkedIn. If you have a business, I think that many people don't think of when they think of having a business, they think of the standard like, oh, I have to have Facebook and Instagram and kind of those sort of things. But LinkedIn is definitely a good thing that you want to have if you have a product or service where you can find potential customers on an audience that suits your product or business. So that's a great opportunity as well. And then again, I have to stress this enough. When we talk about LinkedIn, it needs to tell a story. It needs to tell a story. It needs to tell a story. I can't tell you how much I have to reiterate that and stress that is that it has to tell a story and it needs to be able to let people know that who you are. Because again, truth be told, everyone loves an underdog story. Everyone loves that. We eat it up like a kid eats cake, right? And we love an underdog story, and we love that when we can truly see how people have been able to progress and they've been able to put in the work to advance themselves. So that's pretty much that. And again, some tips that I have is not just copying and pasting. Don't just copy and paste your resume. But again, I have to go back to tell the story. Market yourself. Market yourself for future employers, professional contacts, and so much more. And then most importantly, digital personality is key. I think that is something that you have to keep in mind is that having a digital personality is key. And what does having a digital personality mean? It means that you're telling a story. Going back to that, you're telling a story based on what people can see. And Lauren, are you going to take us over to LinkedIn Learning? You're muted if you're talking. You're still muted. Oh,
Okay, how about you can hear me now?
all right. There we go. I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry about that. So first I wanted to take us over to really quickly
And
LinkedIn profile.
I was going to say before you move, but go ahead. That's what I was going to bring up because I love that you had yours up.
Yeah, so here is a great example of a LinkedIn profile page. So I have my background focuses on Microsoft because I work for Microsoft. So the way that I kind of represent myself is as an employee from Microsoft. And the reason why I do that on my LinkedIn profile page is because I'm customer focused. So a lot of my customers do, in fact, come to my LinkedIn profile page to see who I am, learn a little bit more about me. Um, I used to focus on healthcare customers, but my focus is a little bit different. So I need to update that. But, it has a focus area as well, tells you how many followers I have. Now, again, this is my page and I'm logged in. So this is my view. If you're going to my page, it's not going to look like this. Just I wanted to share that. One thing that is really, really important that I do is I have a featured section. So this lovely event that we're hosting with you all today, I made sure that this is featured on my LinkedIn page. So anybody that goes to my page, they can see that this post is featured. So they've signed up, registered, or they're just made aware that this is something that I'm participating in with Willie. I'm also on the board of the Houston YMCA, and so we were doing a fundraiser. So I shared that as well. And then last week, I was in New York City and I presented to about 40 of our customers on AI and Copilot. So I shared that exciting news. And then the other post you see is when we had our first February 3rd event around digital literacy. So this featured section here is really important. It allows those people who are looking at your LinkedIn profile to kind of learn more about you and what excites you, what you're interested in. Okay. It's also important again to just make posts in general. So we'll go to show all posts.
And while you're doing that, Lauren, I do want to answer Jackie's question when she asked how personal should we get on LinkedIn versus Facebook. I always say this, coming from someone who has a background in public relations, and I stress the importance of personal branding. Well, one, make sure that you aren't putting anything out there, excuse me, that you don't want essentially used against you maybe later down the line. I'll put that out there, and take that information and run with it how you may. But I think that when you talk about LinkedIn, I personally don't like how too personal LinkedIn has gotten. Like, I don't need to know about your cat and the pot of soup that you cook for lunch. Like, I don't really need to know those things, because that's something that you should maybe keep for Facebook or another social media platform. But it's a professional and it's a professional platform. So what we're looking at, if it does not relate to professional branding, professional progression, I think that we should maybe keep that to other platforms. So I'll put that's a nice way of saying that.
I also want to say, as a caveat to that is, for me personally, I used to work in the political arena. I don't anymore. So when it comes to religion, politics, I keep that off
We
of my
lost
link.
you, Lauren, if you're talking.
Oh, you did? Oh no.
There you go.
Ah.
You're back.
You can hear me now?
Yes, you're back. You're
Oh,
back.
I don't know what happened. Sorry. I was going to say a caveat to that is, so I used to work in the political arena. I no longer do. So since I'm no longer working in that arena, I do not talk and speak about politics on my LinkedIn profile. It just, for me personally, it doesn't help, or it doesn't help me progress any way, shape, or form. And it's not going to help me. I'm not going to go backwards. But because I'm now focused on technology, that's what I make my LinkedIn profile's focus is about. So think of your LinkedIn profile as your digital image. And Willie said that earlier. So what is that image that you want to get across to the public? That's really what you want your LinkedIn profile to be about. I keep it, I do not get personal at all. The most personal I get is, okay, I'm helping with this event. But the reason why I'm mentioning that is to make people aware and say, hey, if you're interested in registering, you can register, things of that nature. So to dive in, and then we'll go into the actual LinkedIn learning page. But the last couple of things that I really wanted to highlight was the posts. So I typically try to make a LinkedIn post once a week at minimum. And the reason why is because it's similar to all the other social media platforms. If you're making posts on a weekly basis, people are going to come to my page. They're going to look at my posts. They're going to continue to come back to say, okay, what else is Lauren showcasing? What is she encouraging us to take part in, or what is she participating in? So for an example, the YMCA today, they posted about their focus on STEM and how they partnered with ExxonMobil. So I showcased that. Copilot for Security Copilot, that is going to become generally available to the public, April 1st. So that was really important. That's something that my customers are really interested in and looking forward to. So those customers that I have that do go to my LinkedIn profile page, now that they're made aware of that, aside from me emailing them directly, they can also see it here on my LinkedIn profile. Okay. The last thing that I wanted to just talk about, and you guys, again, I shared my link to my LinkedIn profile page so you can access that on your own, but I have an About Me section. Okay, so this is like about 2 paragraphs, kind of goes over my experience. So I think it's really important when somebody comes to your LinkedIn profile page that you're sharing what your focus area is. So if those of you are interested in account management, for an example, and you don't necessarily know where to start, you might find interest in my About Me section and say, hey, Lauren, can I have a coffee session with you to learn how you got into account management? Or do you like your role? Things like that. So it's your digital image. You want folks to be able to access you and learn all about what you're offering. You're kind of selling yourself on LinkedIn. Okay, and then I obviously share my job experience, my education, and some of the certifications that I have. I need to actually update this with other certifications, but and any kind of volunteering experience that I have as well. Okay, so now we'll go into, Willie, I will go into the actual LinkedIn Learning. So just really quickly, the fee for LinkedIn Learning, there's two fees. You can either pay $19.99 a month. I think it's like the basic LinkedIn Learning, or you can pay, I think it goes up to $29.99 a month. I'm not really sure what the differences are in the two, but if you do not want to use the Houston Library Access route, then you can actually go ahead and purchase it on your own. My page might look a little bit different because I am a Microsoft employee. I do not have to pay for any of the LinkedIn Learning. It's free to me. But this is what the LinkedIn Learning page looks like. There's AI coaching, which is new. This is very new, but you can focus on business skills, technology, creativity, and then anything centered around Microsoft. So I believe, and somebody on this team might have to test this out, but as I shared, my view is a little bit different. So somebody will have to test this and let me know if you can actually see this Microsoft tab here. But you can access, if you can, this is where all the learning paths from Microsoft will be focused, will be showcased. So you have an exam one. Let's click, can we click on that? Let's see. Oh, here, let's click on this one, the AZ 900. So this Azure 900 fundamentals, I'm going to put this in the chat. And if one of you all would like to test it out, let me know in the chat if you can access that. Okay. Alrighty, so this is kind of an example of what the video learning paths look like aside from the LinkedIn Learning, aside from the Microsoft.Learn website, LinkedIn Learning has videos. And again, so from 0 to certified, essentially what that is showing you is you don't have to have any experience in particular for this training session. And so they're broken out in different segments. There's 2 different sessions you can participate in. There's a part 1 and then again a part 2. Oh, you couldn't. Okay, so you guys can't access this. Are you all, for those of you that tried to access the link, do you pay for LinkedIn Learning currently? No. Okay, so that might be why. Not currently. Okay. Okay. So Christian, were you able to access the link? Did it work for you?